regulations, Aston Martin encouraged by 2021 changes. Aston Martin boss Andy Palmer has hinted that the brand is further considering a Formula One entry, following the announcement of new regulations for the 2021 season. The FIA set out the direction for the new engine regulations for the 2021 Formula One season, with lower engine development costs at the top of the bill, a key point of interest for manufacturers wanting to participate in F1. Aston CEO Palmer told Autocar, Aston Martin attended the recent FIA meeting and has been deeply involved through its submissions on potential solutions. We are encouraged by the directions being taken and continue to study a potential Aston Martin solution for 2021. The key will be how development costs are controlled to make participation by independent engine suppliers a viable possibility. Under the new regulations, the 1.6-liter turbocharged V6 hybrid power unit formula, which was introduced in 2014, will remain, but with some key modifications. Stricter parameters for the design of engines' internals are intended to reduce development costs for engine manufacturers and to discourage extreme designs and running conditions, while a high level of new external parameters are set by the FIA to provide teams with a plug-and-play engine/chassis/transmission swap capability. Dimensional parameters for the turbocharger will also be specified. In addition, the power unit's MGUH element, which recovers heat energy from exhaust gases, will be deleted. This will not only cut costs but also make the engine more relevant to hybrid road cars, something F1 has long aimed for. Meanwhile, the MGUK element, which converts kinetic energy from braking into electrical energy and then deploys it under acceleration, will be made more powerful, with a focus on tactical manual deployment of extra power from the driver. The power unit's energy store will also be standardized for all the cars, further cutting costs. The new rules also allow the maximum rev limit to be raised by 3,000 revolutions per minute in an effort to improve the engine's sound, something that has been criticized heavily since the hybrid engines were first introduced. Reducing costs is seen as a key to enticing more engine manufacturers into the sport. Currently, there are just 4, Ferrari, Honda, Mercedes, and Renault, but Porsche seems keen to join, while Aston Martin has also expressed interest with the proviso that cost restrictions are agreed. Full details on how the cost reduction will be achieved are still to be announced by FIA, but the sports organizing body views this as an objective and will continue to work on the issue over the next year. Input from current teams, engine suppliers and outside experts is all being used to draft the full proposals. Surely by scrapping some of the existing technology and changing the rules means that the previous investment is wasted. How is that a cost saving? You've just made the previous formula expensive because there wasn't a long enough payback period. The closest racing sometimes comes as a product of rules stability. The new rules also allow the maximum rev limit to be raised by 3,000 revolutions per minute in an effort to improve the engine's sound, something that has been criticized heavily since the hybrid engines were first introduced. Bring back 3-liter NA engines, 812 cylinders. No amount of tinkering with the little V6s will make them sound anywhere near as good. Save the expensive hybrid tech for the LMP cars. Amen, BC. In fact, why stop at V12s? Bring back the totally mad BRM H16. You are correct, Bob. Bring back the spectacle. That is the only thing about Formula One that people are ultimately drawn to. Formula One has become obsessed about being relevant to hybridization, something that nobody actually craves in the first place, except because the tax system encourages it. The ruination of an F1 race would be to allow a 1995 Ferrari F412 T2 to do a few laps before the start. It was so fundamentally more exciting, spectacular and more spine-tingling. There isn't, and never will be, anything sexy about a 1.6 turbo. It is just a bit crap, however you dress it up. This is painfully reminiscent of the diminution of rallying in touring cars, both destroyed by foolish attempts to be relevant and cut costs. 30 years ago, the rack rally was about to start. Who give a crap now? Does it even still exist? I have no idea. In fact, at some Grands Prix they have a two-seater giving rides to wealthier paying clients on the Saturday and Sunday. This is a V10 and sounds amazing. Who cares about the stupid tech anymore? Just kill the aero. Big rubber. Gear sticks and clutches. And stick some big Chevy V8s in M. Raising the rev limit by 3,000 revolutions per minute may not be the answer. They rarely get anywhere near the 15,000 they're allowed now with the torque available. And with the allowed engines per season dropping from 4 to 3, I doubt they'll want to explore the upper rev limits much anyway. An improvement: big rule changes never work on the competitive front, as one manufacturer always seems to have an advantage at the start of the season whilst others play catch-up. Nothing will make F1 a cheaper sport. Manufacturers spent up to the budget on whatever will give them an advantage. A lot of comments about noise, but remember 99.9% of audience listen to it, with the commentary over the top, on the television, where engine noise is a minor issue compared to a competitive race. This goes some way to explaining why Formula Electric is growing in popularity. A lot of comments about noise, but remember 99.9% of audience listen to it, with the commentary over the top, on the television, where engine noise is a minor issue compared to a competitive race. This goes some way to explaining why Formula Electric is growing in popularity. Good point. Mostly affects those who are lucky enough to go to the races. The noise is different. Most of us watch on TV, with commentators getting overly excited over the noise, and with neighbors who wouldn't appreciate full blast trying to hear engines. I still don't know why you keep saying that about hydrogen. No one has mentioned hydrogen. I don't understand the basic reasoning. A goose sound is not a question of RPM. They just have to ban the turbo. No engine culture. Sad.